Are we rolling? Yes, we are. What's up, guys? It's your boy McKinley Crain here. And with the most recent release of, well, what I meant to say was with the recent release of the most recent Monsterverse movie, which was Godzilla vs. Kong, the 2021 version, of course, I decided that it would be appropriate, since I've now seen all four of the films as of last Monday, because I got to see Godzilla vs. Kong a little bit early, and also because I I have now reviewed all four of these films on my YouTube channel. I I think it's appropriate for me to rank these movies from the worst to the best. Well, none of them are bad. I love all of them. It's just that, I love some more than others. So, I should probably, reword worst to the best to my least favorite to my favorite, because I don't dislike any of them. So, yeah, I'll probably just stick with that title. So yeah, I'm gonna be ranking them from my least favorite to my favorite. Let's get into it. Coming in last place, aka number 4, is going to be Godzilla 2014. Now, I love this movie. It's a great movie. It has a great cast. Godzilla's really great in here. I love the look of him. Or her. Wait a minute. Is Godzilla a boy or a girl? I think he's a boy. Yeah. I think he's a male. I think they mentioned that before in the movies, so yeah, I love the CGI on Godzilla. I love the CGI on him. He's really great in this film. But this movie just wasn't as good as the other 3 movies in the Monsterverse. It was great. There was nothing wrong with it. Was it perfect? No. But it was great. It is a great movie. I enjoyed it when I watched it a few months ago. Um, I it was very entertaining. It was very thrilling. It was very exciting. It had a lot of strong acting, especially from Bryan Cranston. Um, but it just wasn't as fun as the other 3 movies on this list, and wasn't as entertaining as well. It wasn't as quite fun and wasn't as quite entertaining as the other movies on this list. I'm not saying that it wasn't fun or entertaining. It was fun or entertaining. Not or entertaining. It was fun and entertaining. But it just wasn't as fun or entertaining as the other 3 movies in the Monsterverse. Which is why it's in last place. And there's nothing wrong with this movie at all. I love it. It's great. I highly recommend it. But even though it's a great movie, it's just not as good as the other 3 on this list. Which is why it's in last place. Anyway, moving on. Coming in 3rd place is going to be the 2019 film Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Now, this movie was, in my opinion, significantly better than its predecessor, which was, well, not really its predecessor, because technically Kong Skull Island was its predecessor, because if we're talking about, like, predecessors, like, as in, like, the Monsterverse in general, Kong Skull Island was this movie's predecessor, but I'm not referring to Kong Skull Island because Kong Skull Island was better than this movie, in my opinion. I'm referring to the original 2014, the original Monsterverse movie, um, which was Godzilla 2014, which is what this is technically a sequel to. Um, I mean, the 2014 Godzilla movie was great, but this one was much better, and I'm gonna tell you why. It was because it was just more fun, more thrilling, more entertaining. All even though, I mean, I'm not saying that the 2014 Godzilla movie wasn't all of those things, but it just wasn't as fun or thrilling or entertaining as this movie was. This movie was just this movie was also great. Both of the Godzilla films on this list are great, but it's just that this one was much better. It had, better special effects. It had much better fighting scenes. In my opinion. Um, I like the characters a little bit more than I like the first film's characters. Actually, I like them a lot more. Okay, scratch what I said like a couple seconds ago. I like the characters in this movie a lot more than I like the characters in the original 2014 Godzilla movie. Although some of the characters in here are actually from the 2014 Godzilla movie. They were in that movie. But I just like this movie's cast more than I like the other movie's cast, because this movie's cast is, just more enjoyable and more fun to watch. Um, I I love this movie. This movie is was much better than I expected it to be. Um, it had a very satisfying ending, and so did the 2014 Godzilla. By the way, it's just that this one had a more satisfying ending. It it was just so fun to watch. It just had a better story than the original 2014 one. Um, and it was just better. It was just better than the original, in my opinion, which is why it's above the original. Anyway, coming in sec. Okay, I'm not supposed to say that yet. Anyway, moving on. Coming in second place is the 2017 film Kong Skull Island. Now, this was actually the first Monsterverse movie that I watched, and I loved it. It was a great introduction to the Monsterverse. Um, the cast was aka the characters, were hecka enjoyable. Like, um, excuse my language, but they were hella enjoyable. I just had to say that. I'm sorry. And like I said, they were just really enjoyable, and they were, they just had a lot of great chemistry with, the other cast members, and they were so funny. Like, these characters are so funny, and they're just awesome characters. Not to say that the other films on this list don't have awesome characters. All of the films on this list have awesome characters. It's just that, um, except, it's just that this film, like, this film has better characters than the previous films on the films that I ranked lower on this list. It doesn't have as good as it doesn't have like as good characters as number one does, but it has great characters, and it has spectacular fight scenes. And I love the look of Kong in this movie, and I just love what they did with Kong in this movie. And I just love what they did with, like, the characters, like, going to Skull Island. I just love the setting of this movie. I just love the story. It's just such a fun and intriguing story. And I think that this movie handles, like, the the plot, like the side plot with the characters in it, like the human characters in it, in this movie, better than the lower rank that the films I ranked lower handled handled their characters. Like, I think this movie just did that way better than Godzilla 2014 and Godzilla King of Monsters did. The 2019 film, of course. Um, those films, handle their character, like, side plots well, very well, but this film just, does it better. And, you can notice that. You can like tell the difference when you watch the movies. This movie just had like a more intriguing, like, human character side plot, if that makes sense. Well, not even a side plot, because it's actually the main plot. Um, which works well for this movie. It benefits this movie, and I love the ending to this movie. It's very satisfying. Uh, like I said, the other movies on this list, all have satisfying endings, but this movie has better endings than the ones that I previously mentioned on this list. Which what I mean by that is the ones that I rank lower than this. Anyway, moving on. Coming in at number one is the most recent entry in the Monsterverse franchise, which is the 2021 film Godzilla vs. Kong. Now, this film is just a masterpiece. It's just perfect in every single way. The other films on this list are great, but they're not perfect. Um, this film, on the other hand, is perfect. It's a masterpiece. Um, it has, like, great characters in it, and I know that the main characters in this movie are mostly just the main characters from Godzilla King of the Monsters 2019, the 2019 version, of course. But I really think that this movie improved those characters from Godzilla King of the Monsters 2019. These characters were great in Godzilla King of the Monsters 2019, but they were perfect characters in Godzilla vs. Kong 2021. Which 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 kind of makes them different, kind of like different characters. No, not really. They're the same characters, but they were improved in this movie. They're perfect in this movie. They're great in the other movies. Um, but they're perfect in this movie. They have great chemistry. They're they're awesome, and they're just perfect in this movie. The characters in this movie were were improved. And the fight scenes in this movie are just perfect. They're everything you would want and more. They're just awesome. They're very well done. They're incredibly fun to watch. This movie will keep you at the edge of your seat, and these fight scenes will keep you at the edge of your seat. They're just awesome fight scenes. And don't even get me started on the special effects. The special effects are just beautiful to look at. Like, they're just really satisfying to look at. These effects are just eye candy, man. Like, check this out. Check what I'm about to show you out. This is like, just a shot from Godzilla versus Kong, of some, like, CGI special effects on Godzilla, and it's just, they're just awesome. Check it out. So you see what I mean? Yes, this movie does have perfect CGI and perfect special effects, and just beautiful special effects. And I know that they really don't affect the story or affect the movie too much, but they're just great. They're just really fun to look at, and I just felt like I had to mention them. Anyway, this movie is just perfect. It's superior. It's really like, it's just really fun to watch, and just really unpredictable in a good way. Um, and it's just really, really fun, and it's my second favorite film of the year so far, behind the Snyder Cut. And it just exceeded my expectations. I expected it to be great. I just didn't expect it to be perfect, but when I saw it, I was just like, this is perfect. Um, and it had a really satisfying ending, and really fun action scenes, and just really great character development, and really great writing, and really great humor. The humor in here is just the best I've seen it's just the best movie humor that I've seen. Some of the best movie humor that I've seen all year. And this is just a great movie. It's just a really fun movie. It's a really gripping movie. It'll keep you at the edge of your seat. It'll make you want more. It's just a really, really, really awesome movie. A really, really, really satisfying and fun time, with lots of awesome fighting scenes. And just, when I say awesome fighting scenes, I mean between Godzilla and Kong, of course. And it's just got really great twists and turns, and some really great new characters. That I think are awesome, and really, like, really make this movie better and more enjoyable to watch. And all of the characters in this movie, like, are the kind of characters that make you care about them, and they're all great. And the acting in this movie is perfect, especially from Millie Bobby Brown as Madison Russell. She gave a wonderful performance in this movie, a perfect performance, and so did the rest of the cast. And I highly recommend all of the movies on this list, but I recommend this one the most. because it's just perfect. It's just the best. It's just really fun to watch, and it's the most awesome movie on this list. It's the most fun movie on this list. It's the most satisfying movie on this list, which is why it comes at number 1. Anyway, before I go, if you've seen all 4 of these movies, and you have your ranking inside of your mind, like planned out inside of your mind, and you feel like doing what I'm about to suggest that you do, tell me down below in the comments what your ranking would be for, like, all 4 of these Monsterverse movies. Anyway, like, subscribe, join the notification squad. I will return.